So what we're going to do here is draw the Lewis dot structure of SO3. So in order to draw the Lewis dot structure of SO3, I need to count the total number of valence electrons. And I look on the periodic table, and first I find sulfur. Sulfur is located right around here, and it has 6 valence electrons. Then I look for oxygen. Oxygen also has 6 valence electrons, but because there's 3 oxygen atoms in the molecule, I need to multiply that by 3. So the total number of valence electrons in this molecule is going to be 6 plus 18, or 24. So therefore, there are 24 total electrons available. So now I need to pick the central atom. The central atom is the one that is going to be in the middle. Carbon is often a central atom. The hydrogen is never. The halogens are rarely the central atom. And usually it's the first element or the one that there's only one atom of. So in this case, it's going to be sulfur. And so I put sulfur in the middle and draw 3 oxygens around it. Now each time I draw a line, that is a bond, and a bond consists of 2 electrons that are shared. So since I made 3 bonds, I have used 6 electrons. So I need to always take into account how many electrons I use. So I just used 6 electrons, which gives me 18 left over. Now what do I do with these leftover electrons? Well, the first thing I do is I complete the octet of the non-central atom. So in this case, the oxygens. If it was hydrogen, hydrogen only needs 1 bond to be stable, but oxygens need 8. So I'm going to, they already have 2. A bond counts for 2 electrons. So I'm going to put 6 electrons around each of the outside oxygen. Okay, the reason I put 6 is because the 6 red electrons that I put, plus the 2 electrons that make up the bond, will complete the octet. Remember, octet, that means 8. They will complete the octet of the non-central atoms. So I used 18 electrons to do that, which means I have none left over. And I still need to complete the octet of the central atom of that sulfur, because sulfur only has 3 bonds, and I need sulfur to have either 4 bonds or 8 electrons. So what I do here is I make a double bond, and I can choose any of those oxygens to make the double bond with. When I make a double bond, I reassign electrons. So I'm going to erase those 2 electrons down there, and instead of them being a lone pair on oxygen, now I can put them in as a double bond on sulfur. And if I look at this molecule, I'm now done. I'm done because all the atoms have a full octet and no electrons are left over. So those are the 2 things that I need to look at when I'm done. Do I have a full octet on every atom, and have I used all my electrons?